Good evening and welcome to Land Title Talk, where we encourage you to text in or email us with your questions or concerns, and we can address it here on this podcast. We are going to continue from our last podcast talking about tax deeds. And Rusty, we're going to jump right into this. Normally, I like to say what's going on in your world, but really,
we're going to care today.
No, I don't care today. I want to talk about tax deeds. We want to continue on where we left off. So one of the things that we had talked about that was really a sticking point for me, and I was really excited to hear if you had a different answer for me, was whether or not a municipality lien was wiped out if it was not recorded as a lien in the public records.
I can't see where anything that's not recorded in the public records becomes a lien.
So that's the answer, meaning you didn't check.
Oh, I've checked. I went ahead and I've done some research.
You've done some research on it?
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot to welcome our guests. We have Ben from Rusty Law, the law office, J. Russell Collins. We also have Julie here with us. Appreciate you being here, Julie. As always, keep us in line. We love Ben being a guest. And, of course, Rusty from the law office of J. Russell Collins, affectionately known as Rusty Law. And I'm Steve Collins from Land Title of America. But, Rusty, last week we discussed some of the challenges of tax deeds and purchasing tax deeds. I don't necessarily want to recap too much, but I do want to jump right into this municipality lien issue. Does a municipality lien, if not filed in the public records, get wiped out by a tax deed sale?
They do, because there's no notice of them.
You know, you're killing me in a good way. I mean, this is exciting. Would you?
Okay, let's look at it this way.
Well, would you, if I had a client who bought a tax deed and is dealing with a municipality lien that was not recorded in the public records, would you defend them in suing the city to get that lien wiped away?
Why would you need to sue them? It's not there.
It is there.
How is that going to be there?
Because when we do our lien search for a potential buyer, it's going to show.
You're talking about the
resale.
The resale,
or if they go
the open permits and other things.
Not necessarily open permits,
but that's where you're checking.
Yes. Would you take on that lawsuit, and would you sue the municipality, the county, to get that lien to go away? Would you take on that case?
Unless I find something new that
I hate it when you get an out.
Well, you have to understand, there are no absolute.
You researched it.
I did, but
are you confident about this?
I'm only confident after I've gone to trial or have a piece of case.
Nobody else has been willing to do this.
Okay.
Nobody else has been willing to take on the municipalities. So again, we are going to restate this. When you buy a tax deed, the things that do not go away, according to me, is covenants, restrictions, zoning, the comprehensive land plan. Sorry, I had to think about that for a minute. Conservation easements themselves. These are things that will not go away when you buy a tax deed. You go to the auction, you buy a tax deed. These things are outstanding. What we're arguing about is municipality liens, because we've had problems in the past where person goes to buy a tax deed, happy dappy, nothing's in the public records, and then he goes to get a building permit or does something, and he finds out there's $100,000 nuisance lien or municipality lien of some sort by virtue of a demolition, or they didn't mow the lawn and or they have a derelict building, or they had something up that was against code, and they'd be fined $50, sometimes $250 a day until the issue was resolved. These issues have caused my investors to lose a lot of money and also have tons of problems. Most of the time, the municipalities are just looking for the issue to be resolved. In our last show, Rusty said, they want the issue to go away. They want whatever the nuisance was. If it goes away, then they normally negotiate what their lien's going to be. They'll negotiate down what the fine is. Once you resolve whatever the outstanding issue was. But but sometimes there's hard costs like demolition of a house, or maybe they paid somebody to maintain the grass, or whatever those issues are. Those are hard costs. They're not budgeting on those. But what Rusty's telling me is that if they did not record a lien in the public records, which we have been finding that they don't always do, and sometimes they do, then you're telling me that when a tax deed is auctioned, when a deed is auctioned for the non-payment of taxes, that lien goes away if it's not recorded in the public records.
Correct. Remember, the statute says nothing survives except these things of record.
Hey, would you like to make some money?
Hey, no job too big, no fee too big. How much is the lien?
We have several cases. Several.
I mean, I'm
liens never recorded, and these guys are having to deal with this and pay.
No, but remember, they're going to be on when you get a third party company to go check to see what they're saying is due.
We're not doing that before the tax deed.
No, but when you go to sell it, that's going to come up on that search. Okay,
but we need it to go away.
That's not on record.
It's still a problem when it comes to closing or getting building permits or any of those things.
How is it a problem for getting a building permit?
Municipalities want these liens dealt with. You make the problem go away.
But if it's not a recorded lien, if there's no notice on record. Now, yeah, also they do stand in line to get money if there's surplus.
They go after the surplus.
If there's surplus.
And we've had success with that on tax deeds. A lot of these auctions, the property's auctioned off more than what the taxes are, and so therefore they go after the surplus. We've had instances, Rusty, where we've had to beg the municipality to go after the surplus. And we've had instances where the municipality was like, we don't care. We had a case in Key West with that, where the guy had to sue the municipality to go after surplus. Because if they didn't go after the surplus, it was going to go back to who?
Oh, the person who lost title.
Right. With this big municipality lien outstanding. So
wait a minute, they wouldn't even go after it?
No, the municipality just, I don't know, what's the right word? They're not around this area, so I'll call it what it is. They were lazy. So the guy had to actually sue them to go after the surplus, for heaven's sakes. So you're telling, I'm telling you
everything I can find.
Why has nobody done it then? Why is nobody going after these municipalities on a tax deed? It's like they're afraid to.
Well, I don't understand the facts. I mean, I'm looking at why would it?
I'm telling you the facts. It's not recorded.
A lot of times before there's a lien, there's some kind of a notice on record saying, we've said you got 30 days to fix this. If you don't fix it, there's a lien.
Okay. And we're going to assess you $250 a day.
Right.
And they never fix it. They abandon the property.
But you have notice of it.
Who does?
If it's
not recorded in the public records.
If the order saying you've got 30 days to fix it and then there's a fine, that's on record.
Where?
Well, they do it in Putnam County routinely.
Public record.
Public record.
That's fine. Okay. I'm not arguing that fact.
Okay. But why would they go through the hassle of getting this lien if it's not on public record? It's not a lien if it's not on public record. How is it a lien?
They sure act like it is. What about the water bills in flipping Palm Coast?
That's not title.
They file those liens and
if there's a lien, great.
But they sometimes don't, but they still demand payment. When you buy a tax deed, they still demand payment for those back liens.
For the back bills or liens?
Okay, Rusty, I'm using the word lien.
It's not a lien until it's perfected.
Until it's recorded.
Right.
Then I'm using the wrong word. I apologize.
You're talking about bills?
Yes.
Well, I mean, they don't necessarily have to turn your water on. We're not saying that debt got paid. We're saying, is it a lien on the real estate?
But if you buy the taxes, it should go away.
Well, wait a minute.
That's what you're saying.
But if I buy the property from you and I don't check to make sure that your outstanding water bills are paid, I'm going to have a problem when I go to get the water turned on. I'm going to have to pay those bills or figure out a way to get the money
if I buy my property from you and the water bill isn't paid, yes, I'm going to have a problem. I'm also going to have a problem. I don't check to see if there's any outstanding mortgages, or I'm also going to have a problem if there's.
But you have notice of the mortgages.
My point is, the tax deed wipes out everything
of record. But
if the water bill is not part of record, why does that stand? Why is that still outstanding?
Because they don't have to turn your water on. That's a utility.
All right.
That's not title.
It's a municipality, and
it's a closing issue.
They are filing these liens.
If they file a lien, fine.
Then we have notice.
But if they're okay, but you're mixing up title versus closing.
I know I am
because
it's been an issue
before 10 years ago. Those other things were not checked.
No.
Not around here. They were in South Florida.
No, well, we dealt with them on tax deeds. I mean, we've been dealing with municipality liens on tax deeds forever.
Right, but I'm talking about the unpaid water bills, open permits, all that stuff. That was not checked more than 10 years ago.
No, it's contractually, it's now an issue that people check, which is great. I mean, it's important. But I'm just saying that
title company real estate closing liability
let's get back with the darn municipality liens.
If the municipality
and I'm sorry, I used the word lien again. A municipality, what do you call it then?
You can call it lien. It's just not perfected.
An unperfected lien, a municipality unperfected lien, not recorded in the public records. You're saying
it's wiped out.
Totally.
The statute's very clear.
Okay. You ready to get paid?
Sure.
Okay. You ready to take on municipalities?
I don't care. I don't have any people that love me at the city anyway. They love me at the county, but not in that department.
Okay.
Before I go after, I'm going to make sure I'm not crazy, but I'm telling you, everything I've read says that.
I need you to be sure now. So that's something I need to be sure now.
The statute
I'm going to start. We're on this show saying it, and I'm going to take your word for it. I've done it in the past. You never burned me yet.
It was always the first time.
Yeah, there is.
I'm just saying everything I have, and I prepared today.
I'm proud of you.
Okay. As if it's not recorded. Well, first of all, most things don't survive anyway because they got notice.
Right.
Okay.
Liens.
Right. But here's the thing.
I mean, mechanics liens go away. Mortgages go away. IRS goes away.
Right.
Other owners go away.
So let's look at. We all know that if you're in an HOA that has assessments, you have an assessment.
Right.
Monthly or yearly, whatever it is.
Right.
Okay.
But that goes away.
Wait a minute, though. But we all know it's there. They have recorded restrictions that apply for the lien. Now they get notice. They get noticed on the tax deed sale, right?
Right.
Okay. But let's say Let's say there's $1,000 worth of unpaid association fees that they have not filed a lien on yet. Now, if a person buys at a real estate closing, and those
standard transaction, no lien recorded.
There's no lien. They actually, it becomes a personal debt to them. It's not just a debt against the property. They are personally, along with whoever else has been entitled, right? They don't have any notice of that.
The buyer did not have any notice of that. Correct.
Of that lien. Because it's an unperfected lien.
Unperfected, but they still have
the liability.
They still have the leverage. The association still has the leverage to collect on that lien.
It's a lien. They can still foreclose the lien.
They sure can, even though the buyer did not have notice.
They have notice because of the recording of the
restrictions. It's
okay?
their duty to check and make sure there's no back association.
Right. So, but the association, if there's no lien out there that's recorded, they don't get notice of the tax deed sale.
Right. But they're still wiped out.
Right. Because the statute provides for it.
But even if they do have a lien, they get notice, they're still wiped out.
Right.
Municipalities, if they record a lien and their lien is perfected,
it's not
they do not get wiped out.
That is correct.
Okay. But we're talking about the non-perfected liens. They have just a notice in their file that they've sent notification. They've been assessing $250 a day, and nothing's been recorded in the public records.
Well, if the municipality wants to make sure they get paid for that stuff, they need to get the legislature to change the statute.
I don't want them to change the statute. I like this idea of what you're talking about.
Well, again,
because nobody's fighting them on this point.
but
Rusty,
it's
that
not
I
gonna,
can ever that
it's
I've
not
ever
going
seen.
to take out these unpaid water bills.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, water bills are going to be hundreds, if maybe 1,000. What we're talking about is 50,000, 75,000,
Right.
$350,000.
I do not
And
know.
if that lien is not recorded in the public records, you can make it go bye-bye.
Then somebody that works with the office that should have recorded it needs to get fired, because I can't imagine them going through all that and not recording. I've seen so many that are recorded.
Yeah, no, they do record them, and it's fine because my investor knows then. See, there's a big difference, Rusty.
Are you saying it happens here?
Yes.
Wish we had commercials. You can show me. But I'm just trying to say.
It's happened. We do closings throughout the whole state of Florida. Does it happen here very often? No. Can I tell you a specific instant where it happened? No. Do I think I could find one? Yes. Duval's notorious for it because they have that website, but they're not recorded in the public records. Does that work?
No, because
Okay,
if
so
they
it
don't
doesn't
charge
work.
you for the real estate taxes, and they do because that's their part of the tax deed process. Those are not recorded in the public record. They're not a part of the official records of the county.
Okay.
Okay. It is not a lien that's recorded.
Okay.
And that's what the statute says. It talks about
We
being
beat
recorded
this
in
thing to
public
death.
record.
I just want to make sure you're sure because I trust you.
I mean,
I'm
they may
gonna-
turn off your water, but I don't know.
I'm going to start talking to people
You know,
confidently on this point that when I do a title search before a tax deed sale, or if I do a search in Duval County, now what about foreclosures? Now I'm going to get off on mortgage foreclosures.
Sure.
What about mortgage foreclosures?
What
Same
about 'em?
principle.
What about them?
If there's a municipality that has a lien that is not perfected and recorded in the public records, is it wiped out?
No.
No. So it's different on a mortgage foreclosure.
Right.
That's fine. I just wanted to know. Tax
A
deed.
mortgage foreclosure is a matter of contract, right?
Right.
Okay. A tax deed sale is a matter of taxation.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole different thought process.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I mean, that's
Remember,
important.
this is the king, not your banker.
Right.
Okay. The king wins, but the king has to file his liens if we're talking about the county
Okay. And the
and
city.
the city,
And the city.
municipality.
All right. So we'll.
But even like the CDD fees that are not part of your tax bill, they survive.
Yeah, I don't want to get off on CDDs yet.
I'm just
'cause
saying,
I'm telling you, the CDDs bother me still. I'm not.
but they survive
I'm
because
not
they
comfortable.
are on the same level as the real estate taxes.
Yeah.
That's why
we
they're
saw
mostly in the
CDDs turn into mortgages at one point. It was weird, dude.
Okay, but that's why I think most of the CDDs are in the tax bill now.
I think they all are. I hope it's a moot
Maybe they
point.
converted it. Maybe it's
I have
changed.
no way of knowing.
I just
And
remember some that
because
did.
If I'm going to have an investor call me to do a search on a property, I have no way of checking if they're CDDs without reading the restrictions. And it's not going to happen on every search we do. That falls on the buyer, and they're not going to read the restrictions. So it's just, the CDDs are scary if they're not part of the tax bill. Very scary.
Well, I think you should check with the county to find out which ones are and which ones aren't.
I mean, yeah, you're not going to do that for every county in the state of Florida,
No.
are you? So
But if you're going to be an investor, you might want to do it in those counties you're investing in.
well, that's a good point. Good point.
I mean, it's just due diligence.
Check, find out what is, what
Well,
might, that's
some things
a
don't-
good point.
Some things do not show up on a title search. Okay, that's why there's, when you're doing a real estate closing, you have liability not only for title, but you have liability for the closing and
Right.
fulfilling the contract requirements,
Right.
which is I'm buying the house and there's no unpaid water bills.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we can turn the page on the municipality liens. It's just one of those tricky situations that I'm excited, Rusty, I'm gonna. You're right. I'm gonna say you're right. You better, if you're wrong, please let me know soon because I'm gonna be talking to people that if I do my search and I don't see a municipality lien recorded and they buy the tax deed, they can rest assured that they're good. And and municipality tries to challenge them to the contrary, you're going to take on the lawsuit and you're going to sue the municipality
for the appropriate amount of money.
Of course. But like I said, we just had one where the municipality lien was like 100 and some odd thousand, 125,000, I think. And they negotiated down to 39,000. Well, it was never recorded. They bought the tax deed.
Yeah. Well, it might be a good idea to quiet that title, but I don't even know why you have to, because it's not a recorded lien.
But would you take on the municipal? You said you would.
But what are we quieting title against?
We're quieting title against a municipality who's trying to collect on fees.
They don't have a lien.
They're still trying to collect on fees, Rusty. Would you fight them?
I don't know that you can stop that.
That's the whole point I've been trying to say.
Okay, here's the thing, though.
Can you stop them from collecting?
You want to get an injunction against them from the judge saying you cannot try to collect?
You cannot collect on this. You did not record a lien. This guy in good faith purchased the tax deed, excuse me. Mm-hmm. Okay, he purchased the tax deed.
Well, that shouldn't survive, but the question is, how can they enforce it? How can they enforce it after that, though?
They are.
How?
They're holding up permits, or they're doing whatever.
Well, then you might have to sue them for a writ of mandamus. They force them to do it.
But then you're going to get that municipality lien search, and you got a buyer who's going to try to buy. That's going to stop them from wanting to buy. Can you sue them to say that lien, that non-perfected lien, poofs?
I'd have to
take it off the books.
Okay. I'd have to think through the process of saying that is no longer something you can put on your book.
You're not.
Okay, but it's not a lien. It's not against the title, right? It did not survive as a lien against the title. We have a brand new title.
Tell the municipality that. I get it. We have a brand new title.
But I don't see them writing it off just for fun. Okay.
Well, they should have recorded the lien.
Well, I agree with you.
But they didn't.
Right.
So we want you to make it go away.
It's not a lien.
Golly gee.
I haven't thought through
the process. It's a good thing I can't strangle you from this.
But
I guess I could.
But what I'm trying to say is I haven't thought through how do you stop them from trying to collect it from your owner at this time.
They will eventually file a lien.
But that lien's after the tax deed, and it's for something that happened before the tax deed. Go ahead. That'd give me something to fight about. Okay.
How about this? If I paid you for an attorney's opinion to be recorded in the public records.
What good is that?
Well, you can take a picture of your middle finger and say you cannot collect because you did not file a lien.
I'd just rather moon them and have somebody take a picture and file that.
Oh, well, one of the I mean, this is a series. You don't understand how serious this is. And I'm glad that we get to talk about it on this show because it's sort of fun.
There's going to be specific issues from specific facts. You change the facts, you change the
Well, I'm giving you the facts.
Yeah, well, I like this.
I know you want to. I would know you want to validate the facts, but based on if what I told you is the gospel truth.
Well, all right. So I would probably first start by calling the municipalities trying to collect and say, "Hey, what's it going to take to get this off your books? Do I have to sue you?"
They're going to say, "We'll negotiate." We have hard cost. We had to demo a house. We've got $50,000 of hard cost plus whatever. We want $75,000. We have penalties and interest. It's $300,000 lien, but we're willing to accept $75,000.
Well, who's the person who should have filed the lien? And let's see if we can't take their body and sell it off for parts. Okay. What can we get for their liver?
All right.
Okay. I don't know, because they didn't do their, there are things that happen in the law that sometimes are not as equitable as we'd like to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What we think is actually really, really fair,
mm-hmm.
but they want to negotiate. Why? Why do we have to negotiate if that's the case? Okay. If they're saying, well, we just want to issue a permit based upon what?
Or we won't take this notice off our records and we're going to file a lien or whatever. And a potential buyer, you lose a buyer because you can't get that off the records, off their records.
Okay. But that's not an issue of title.
No, it's not, but it is, because contractually it is an issue which prohibits us from closing.
Well, what makes you think that the municipality is going to be able to enforce that debt they think they own?
Well, are we willing to stand on that hill and die on it?
Well,
Am I willing to sit there and go to a buyer and say, here's a letter from my attorney. If this becomes any issue, you get to come back to us and he's going to defend you. Can you indemnify? And we go to the seller and say, hey, seller, you got an option here. Option A is you go pay it off, or option B, you pay a really expensive indemnity fee to us, and if it becomes an issue, we're going to defend it.
I don't know that the seller's going to do that. I think we better talk.
Hold on one second. I can pay $75,000 or I can pay you $10,000. What do you think they're going to go for?
Pay me 25.
25.
It's only a third. Look,
but you get it.
I understand.
I mean, it's a real issue.
But then again, what happens? Okay, there's a difference between a municipality saying our records show this much is owed. Okay,
that's what they say.
Okay, that's one thing.
That's what they say.
It's another thing for them to try to enforce that process of, well, we're going to go ahead and file the lien. Okay, please do. Then I got something concrete I can fight with. Okay, that's first thing. Number two, and then they may have liability for slander of title too. Okay.
Can a municipality be liable for slander of title?
They can be sued.
That's not the answer.
The answer is yes.
Okay, thank you.
Because they can be sued. Okay.
What's that so hard?
But the point is, they can be sued just like anybody else can be sued.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think there's a qualified immunity for that. Okay. They know better. Plus, they do have lawyers. Okay. And I know the lawyers work for their people, but
this is obviously a big issue for me.
I understand. You're passionate. It's a very, but it's fact intensive. Just because there's no lien there doesn't mean they don't have it on their books. How many debt collectors still try to collect debts that are past the statute of limitations? Okay. They can call you up and fake you.
Well, we have to come up with a way to deal with this, because I want to have my clients be able to close and indemnify their buyers.
Is a buyer willing to take that indemnity? Because they still have to.
Some won't, but some will.
Okay. There are some things that show up on title that we know are not an issue.
Right. Okay. And this will be one of those times that we could take a stand knowing that the law is on our side, and if the seller pays a fee to cover the cost that it would take for you, you'd think, what's the cost going to be to defend it? That kind of a thing.
But there's also the issue, is the buyer going to accept that indemnity?
Get it. Let's move on to the next thing.
What's that?
Tax deeds, mobile homes.
By the way, fun fact.
Yes.
Tax deed sale was today for St. Johns County.
Yes.
There were 21, well, actually 7 sold, the others were redeemed.
Yes. And I had one of my clients buy 2, actually. And the great thing is, my client called me after the sale. And he said, I got 5% I'm willing to lose. Will you please check this title? And guess what we found? Restrictions. But thankfully enough, the restrictions only prohibited the property from having mobile homes and things of that nature, certain square feet. I said that right?
The restrictions would survive anyway.
That's the point. He wanted to make sure the restrictions did not prohibit him from doing what he wanted to do with the property.
Okay.
He would lose his 5%. He was willing to do that. But once we did the search, he was willing to go down and pay the rest of the money.
I am concerned.
I did remind my client, Ben, I said, Mr. Client, it'd probably be better if you called me before the sale, because we would like you not to lose your 5% next time. But everything worked out, so we're happy about that. Yeah. So that'll be a tax certification for you, because he's going to get tax certification on both of those. But we'll talk about the tax certification a little later. I want to hit on this tax deed topic. I want to hit on mobile homes and how they affect our tax deed sales.
So very simply this, if the mobile home is assessed as real property, the title should go with the tax deed.
See, I like that word. You said should.
Okay. The problem we have is,
I know what that means when you say should. I've learned over the years.
Okay. Is the mobile home retired?
No. Let's
then
first
how are you going to get the
Hold on.
DMV to transfer the title?
We're going to first start with mobile homes on the property. It's assessed as RP. Obviously, the tax amount is based on the land and the home together.
Correct.
Why shouldn't you get? And I believe that you'll find out that in our awesome county, they will accept a tax deed and transfer mobile homes when we prove to them that it's RP'd.
I hope you're right. Because it's been my experience that unless it's on the tax deed, the VIN.
Well, then get the clerk to re-record the darn bloody thing and put the freaking mobile home information on it then. If it's RP, they should be doing that anyhow. Because you're not only just buying the taxes for the land, you're buying the taxes for the home.
I agree, but here's the thing. When they do their title search, now I know Putnam County, because our cousin does at least half of them, half the tax deed searches, and he lists out if a mobile home is assessed as real property. I think they do it here too, but I think that it's not getting on the tax deed because when they do a tax deed, they use the description that comes from the property appraiser.
That needs to change.
Show me a statute that requires the clerk to do that.
Show me a statute that says you shouldn't do your freaking job, and when you pay for the taxes, it included the home. You're not just getting the land.
Well, maybe
yes
the
or
property
no?
appraiser should add it with their legal description.
Maybe we should. Maybe we should talk to our property appraiser. Yes or no? Does the home come with it? Yes or no?
I agree.
As a matter of law, does the land and the home, when you buy a tax deed and there's a manufactured home, mobile home that's RP'd, it comes with the sale?
It does. But that doesn't mean the DMV has to issue you a new title.
I think it does.
I've not seen that. I don't think it's in their book that way.
Because the only way to fix that is for you to do a suit to quiet title, which is so dumb.
I agree.
To do what? To who are you suing? I love it when he starts off with Who are you suing?
DMV.
Okay. I'll accept that.
Okay.
Hey, DMV, put this transfer this title because this was RP'd and so forth.
This is all they care about is that they have a court order. Now, if we had a certain judge here, I'd probably get that done quick. Okay.
What do you mean? If
in the past I was able to get certain orders that I didn't have to sue, I had to file it, but it was like instead of being this person against this person was in regards this.
Okay. You don't have a judge like that anymore?
I haven't. No.
Well, fix that.
Stephen.
Yes.
If I remember correctly, the last time Eddie Creamer came into our office a couple months ago, it was a request of our staff to have that information start being listed, and he agreed. And I want to say they sent a follow-up email saying that it had been implemented. Obviously, it's going to be piece by piece. I don't have anything to confirm.
That would be nice.
Well, look at the
There's
next
something to
tax
look
roll
up.
and see if we got tax. If you have lot block and VIN
Together with.
Yeah, well, just lot block VIN or something.
Yeah.
Because again, the DMV, their rules require certain things. And their favorite thing to say is, I just need an order from the court.
Okay.
And that's really easy to say.
How much would you charge in a situation where somebody comes to you, and we're going to talk about the certification process. We have a tax deed certification that allows a person to buy a tax deed and then come to you, get a certification without a suit to quiet title. If you run across the DMV being obstinate, how much would you charge?
It's still a quiet title suit.
Dang it. That defeats, then you might as well just not even.
Might as well just do the quiet title suit.
Yeah, that's a problem though, Rusty, because the benefit of the tax certification that we're going to talk about is not kicking the proverbial sleeping dogs.
True.
Okay, I like the tax certification because now all of a sudden you're having the name unknown heirs, and you got to go to the hire an attorney ad litem and crap like that. Could you do a suit to quiet title and just say the only purpose of the suit to quiet title is to get the DMV?
I think I could do it just against the DMV because all I want to do is get an order from the court requiring them to do this thing.
So I want to put you on the spot. Would your fee for the tax certification and the suit to quiet title, could you merge those together?
No.
Okay.
Because that's a whole different thing. It's a whole different set of.
Well,
cost,
I think you're going
expenses,
to
and-
find out that I think there's St. Johns County DMV will comply. There's got to be a way for
But
us
you have to understand, they don't just make their own decisions. All that paperwork they do gets sent.
But they
somewhere
can
else.
transfer titles in anywhere in the state of Florida.
They can, but they can also be. Those titles can also be untransferred if they get kicked back from the people that review what they did. So
I just don't think it will happen.
that's why people need to retire their stinking mobile homes.
Well, that's another point. So if on a tax deed, if the titles are retired, which means what to those who are listening?
It just means that the mobile home is the title itself has been turned into a stick-built house legally.
I don't use that word.
It becomes a site-built house.
It becomes no longer a titled improvements.
You can't roll it.
But it's what's that?
You can't roll it down the street.
Well, you
Okay, most of them you can't roll down the street.
but no, but Ben, it's still, when you RP it, that obviously it's affixed to the
Well, wait a
land.
minute, what you have to understand
It's
is
assessed as real property.
the mobile home is assessed as real property if the same person owns the dirt and the same person owns the land.
And that is permanently affixed.
No, if it happens automatically, they assess you.
Say that in English.
Okay. If Stephen Collins owns a lot in
Yeah.
Flagler Estates,
Yeah.
and Stephen Collins has a manufactured home
Uh-huh.
sitting on that lot,
In my name,
it's in your name.
and you're telling me they automatically RP it?
When they find out about it, they will automatically RP it. They don't RP it, excuse me. They assess it
Yeah.
as real property.
Are you 100% sure on that, sir?
It
Collins?
happens all the time.
Okay. Why some of our investors will title the land and the home separately from each other when they want yearly tax.
If they want to do that, that's fine. I don't understand the big benefit for it, but they do that.
They want to interchange the homes pretty easily. That's why they do that. They want to be able to take an older home, move it off, put a new one on, that kind of stuff without having the hassle.
Not that big of a hassle.
Well, it's a hassle. It's paperwork.
There's paperwork to retire it, and there's paperwork to transfer it if you transfer the property.
Well,
If you can get rid of it with the retirement.
Julie, you found the confirmation email?
I did. I just sent you a copy of it. Hold on.
Okay. Which says that
Coming from one of the representatives in Eddie's office. We've been looking into adding the mobile home ID number on our website and hope to have that available in the near future. We appreciate the feedback.
but not on the legal description.
Right now,
I
they just say the year
Possibly
and
not.
stuff about
Let's
the
see.
mobile home.
Right.
I can ask her.
Sometimes in Putnam County, we get the VIN. Or no,
We
sometimes
want it
get
on the
VIN,
legal description. Though.
Sometimes we get just the RP number or even the title number in Putnam County, but it's not part of the legal description.
Well, as far as it being RP'd, you're telling me that if it's in my name, Stephen Boyd Collins, and the home's in my name, Stephen Boyd Collins, and they figure that out, they're going to automatically RP it.
They don't RP it; they assess it.
But
They
then
don't issue the RP sticker.
okay. But if they assess it with the land, then on the tax deed, then it's going to go with the land,
I think you have
even
to,
if it's not RP'd in that
right.
point.
You have to prove that, but yeah,
Right. And I don't think we actually check for RP numbers every time on a tax deed. We're looking to see if the home was assessed.
right.
But you got to be careful because you can look at the aerial and you look at the assessment and you'll have land assessment, improvement assessments. And then you look at the aerial, there's 4 homes, maybe not all of those homes are coming. So let's talk about this. What does a person do when they buy a tax deed and it's clear that it was only land, but there is a mobile home there?
There is a process to obtain title to an abandoned mobile home.
It's not abandoned. They still live there,
We have to kick them people out.
but they own it.
They don't own the dirt.
Okay,
You
so
can get-
how do
you
you
can
go
get
through that
kicked out.
process? You can't kick them out of the home.
No, but you can have the actually yes you can, because they can't trespass on your property to get to it.
You got to get the home off the land.
Well, they can get the home off the land.
So what do you do in that situation where you have somebody who owns the land, and they have the mobile home. In the instance of Stephen Boyd Collins owns the land, but Stephen and Bella own the mobile home.
Well, Stephen and Bella might own the mobile home,
But they're not going to merge those two.
That's not going to merge because
so when the tax deed happens and I lose the land, but the home's still in Stephen and Bella's name as husband and wife.
I will eject you from the property.
What's the process in doing that, and how expensive is it, and how long does it take?
It costs too much. It takes too long.
No, that's not the answer I want. I want people to know.
Litigation does. Okay.
Well, give me an idea. You got somebody who's staunch. They claim some kind of, my rights to be here, and
that's fine.
And I'm a sovereign of some country, and
right up until the sheriff forcibly removes them.
And that's what he'll do. He'll go forcibly remove them from the home, even though they own the home.
Right, because they're on your property.
You have experience with this.
I've seen it happen. I don't know that I have it. Actually, I had a long time ago.
You had one in Flagler Estates,
but that was a mobile home was being repossessed on our dirt, and they tried to sequester us from being able to get to the mobile home. They were trying to repossess the mobile home, but we filed a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, and that stopped them.
Okay,
but that wasn't taxed, and it wasn't the dirt and the home were separate. I think what you're going to have to eject them from the property.
And then what do you do with this home? It's theirs.
Give them an opportunity to move it.
Okay, and I love putting you on the spot. It's my favorite thing to do.
Because
I really do. I love it because you normally have all the answers.
Well, here's what
I love talking about things that make you nervous. What's the process?
Okay, here's the process. Number one, there's a thing called storage fees. It happens. Okay. There are mechanics that make a good.
I would
semi-legal living doing this. They end up with the person leaves the car there.
Took Bo Hall to lunch today. He talks about that very thing. Accident happens. Insurance company forgets the car's there.
And you're charging.
And then they come back and say, hey, we forgot that the car's there for 2 months. And he's like, well, here's your $100 a day fee.
Right. And they could pay it or not.
Well, he's got a way of actually getting the title in his name if they don't pay it.
That's right.
So I guess it would be the same process with the mobile home.
You have a lien for your storage, okay? You got to perfect it, but you have a lien for your storage.
Okay, so you got this home.
Notice, you publish, and then you have an auction that you hope nobody shows up to.
Okay.
And
do you conduct the auction yourself?
Yes.
That's wild. You send notices out to everybody and say, I'm auctioning off this house.
There's, depending on how much the mobile home's worth. Okay.
It's the mobile home's worth brand new. It's worth $250,000.
What's it worth today?
Today it's worth $195,000.
Well, then you're going to have. There's a process in the DMV procedure manuals.
Okay.
And I check it every time.
Okay.
Okay. So there's going to be a publication.
Okay.
And
this is the same as a vehicle than a car. Same thing that Bo went through.
It's just a vehicle.
Yeah, that's crazy because it was not RP. Wow.
You got what? You got a title. Even if it, okay, so
yeah, and so how much notice do you have to give them before you start this?
I thought it was, you can start the process right away once you become the owner of the dirt. Okay, I would just eject them from. I mean, you're going to want to eject them from the property before you do this because it's going to be weird.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
Okay,
we got this nice home.
It's not really abandoned.
We're going to auction it, and the bonus is it comes with crazy people. 3 kids and 2 dogs.
Yeah. Well,
and parents.
Right. I think the value goes down. But so you need to eject them from the property.
All right. And the sheriff helps you with that. It's not like just a writ of possession, obviously. It's a different situation because they own the home. So what kind of process is that?
You're going to have to get exclusive possession of the dirt, of the lot.
Okay. How do you do that?
It's not, I'd have to think through a little bit, but you're not really
set up a tent.
You're not.
Pull in, park my car there, what?
Okay. I think it's going to be an unlawful detainer action, but I have to think that a little bit because they are not the owner.
Okay.
They have no claim to title, and therefore they don't have your permission to be there. Okay. And I've had this happen where you have families, dad owns the lot, dad and daughter own the mobile home.
Mm-hmm.
And dad and daughter are not happy with each other right now, and dad comes to me and says I need to get my daughter removed. I've done that case.
And we're talking about Removed from
the mobile home
mobile home.
because
Okay.
it's on Dad's property.
Okay.
And it can also work the other way too.
Understand.
Come on the property, can't come in the house. Okay.
Okay.
Or if you can get to the mobile home and not be on my property, good luck. But the point is,
Yeah, but see the
It's weird.
airspace too, Rusty,
I
is,
know.
as we
That's
talked
what I'm
about.
saying. It's hard.
So it's hard. How about the right word would be impossible?
nothing's impossible.
I don't know about that.
Depends on how creative you are. Depends on what dimension you're in.
That means
Okay.
I'm possible.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, it's every situation is somewhat unique, but you'd have to get rid of them off the property, and then you can say, and you can still charge them a storage fee while they're there. Or think about it this way. We have mobile home parks where you pay rent and you
Mhm.
own the mobile home.
Right.
I've yet to see a mobile home move from one of those places.
It's happened.
It's happened, but I've yet to see it happen.
Yeah.
Because they usually stay there. If somebody gets evicted, they're evicted from the park, but their home is still there.
I love it when these retirement communities have these manufactured homes that you buy, you don't own the dirt, and they build a garage.
It's weird.
It's weird, okay? That's just
It's
funky donkey.
really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can pull
Don't
that
pay
home
your
up there.
association fees.
Don't pay your rent.
Yeah.
But they will get rid of you.
They rent the lot. Yeah. They get you out, and now you're going to take your home.
Right. They're going to take your home. They're going to
They'll
advertise
auction.
it.
They'll auction the house off.
and since you've been trespassed, you can't go to the auction.
It's crazy, man. It's just crazy how that stuff happens, but it happens.
It's better just to pay your bills.
Yeah, it is. All right. So what do you think the average cost would be if I buy a tax deed and there's a mobile home there and I got to get people out and come on, you could throw out a guesstimate on that, because when I have investors that look at this property like, this is a decent deal.
If it's that good of a deal, it's worth doing.
Okay, but so
it's
give
marginal.
me a cost
Typically, you're looking at, for that kind of stuff, you're looking at $2,500.
for the lawsuit to be filed
And for the
and to
attorney-
complete it.
Well, most likely, depending on what's going on.
That's not that expensive.
It's not terrible.
I mean, you're gonna then auction the home, all that process.
oh
too.
no, okay, you're talking about doing that process.
Well,
You're
yeah.
talking about- you're talking about doing an unlawful detainer case?
Well, yeah, because
Then that's $2,500.
mostly when people don't have money to pay their taxes, they probably don't have the money to move that home.
Probably not.
No. Okay. I know it's a mean
But they
thing
might.
to say.
But here's the thing: it might be a good time to maybe negotiate with them to buy the home at a pretty decent discount.
I get all that, and they obviously do all that, but we're talking about when that doesn't work.
When that doesn't work, well,
So how much?
Okay, so the other process is there's a publication component, and if they do it right, because they can cry their own property, they can auction their own property. Frankly, they don't even need a lawyer to do it.
Okay. But I'm sure most people would. I mean, that's going to be pretty nerve wracking when you're sitting there you're going to, hey, come to this address. We're auctioning this home in the front yard of the property.
Depends on how many people show up.
Oh, wow. I mean, you could
You're
do
praying
that.
for nobody to show up, so you buy it for $1.
And then as it auctioned, whatever it's auctioned for, that money goes to the family. Who owns the home? Who used to
Well,
own
you
the home?
get your money back first,
Right, your fee. I mean, you've had fee there. You've had cost. If those costs are covered, the auction goes beyond that, then they would get the surplus.
If they know about it, yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? Track them down?
Well, I mean, you got to give them a right? To
You may have to sheet it. I don't know. I haven't gone that far. I've never had to go that far.
you'd have to sheet it because it's not your money. You'd have to sheet it to the state, or at least find some way of
Yeah.
getting that money.
Ask a
A
an
repo
auto
guy,
shop. Yeah.
an auto shop.
Ask them what they.
Yeah, maybe I should ask Bo. Hey,
Ask
Bo.
Okay. I've not had to go that far because here's the thing. Usually, we had a client who had a mobile home property out by Crookshank. Okay. And somebody was evicted and they left their home, of course. And so we had to go through the process. But the home, the market value of each title could have been more than $500. So mobile homes, they aren't worth much when you pull them off. Okay. There's some used homes, but they're older.
$500.
If you can substantiate the $500 aside, then you don't even have to publish. You can just put up a post it on
$500.
stupid telephone pole. You can
Yeah.
you can paper it in the neighborhood, and
No home's just worth $500. I don't care if it's a piece. Well, I guess there could be.
Well,
We've had some homes
Okay,
in flagler states where the roof's missing. So yeah, in
Okay,
that case,
but
I would say yeah, it's actually worth a negative.
the market
$5,000.
value of the property is not what it's worth sitting there. Is was it worth to move it and reset it up somewhere else?
I get it.
What's the net value?
I get it.
Replacing it with a new one is a whole different story. But what is that? What is that property? Personal piece of personal property.
So let's complicate things a little more on this mobile home stuff. I know we're running out of time here. Who knows? This might be a 3-part series on tax deeds because there's so many nuances. It's pretty interesting, I think. So Blake, how are we doing, buddy?
We got 9 minutes.
Yeah, Blake, can we run late again today?
Okay.
The voice in
Can
the
be
distance.
bought.
Okay. Thank you, Blake. So we've got the mobile home. We have the land. It is RP'd by virtue of the fact that Stephen Boyd Collins owns it. And Stephen Boyd
It's
Collins.
assessed as real property.
Okay, thank you. It's assessed as real property, even though it's not RP'd.
Makes
Fine.
it easier if it's RP, but
It's not RP'd. Stephen Boyd Collins owns the home and the land, and they go ahead and merge it together.
for taxation, yes.
Taxation. But the mobile home has a lien against it. They financed it
Without the dirt.
without the dirt.
You have to
So-
quiet title suit, but then you win.
But the bank didn't get notice.
Too bad, so sad.
Come on now. I thought it was all about notice.
The statute says they
Because
have to notice those people who have recorded liens. Now, what's interesting, though, is if you've got somebody with an unrecorded contract for deed, they get notice too.
but it's unrecorded.
Yeah, but the property appraiser ends up knowing they're there.
No, they don't. Not
And
always.
They're also on the property and they serve the property. So they're going to get notice.
Okay.
Okay. So
But yeah, see, that's a whole nother topic agreement for deeds because they're not always recorded.
I know.
So that's something we'll talk about a little bit later. Let's focus on this mortgage thing.
Okay. So here's the deal. It's not a mortgage. It's a
Oh,
title
I get
lien.
it. It's a title lien. Sorry.
Okay.
You're correct.
So-
Not a mortgage. Title lien. They're
Yeah.
not noticed.
Right. They're not. But you know what? They could do something to make it to where they get notice.
How?
They can record something in public records.
A UCC.
They could do the Uniform Commercial Code, the financing statement. But really that's supposed to be filed with the
State.
with the
Secretary of
state. But you can file them. One document that can be filed that nobody signs.
Right.
Because
Just notice.
It's just notice.
Right.
You can do that. If you do that, then and it says mobile
And then
home,
they get notice of the.
they'll get notice.
Right.
So
So,
they can,
that's on them. So what you're
it's
telling
on
me,
them.
it's on them. If I have a lien against the mobile home and I don't have a mortgage recorded, I'm the lien holder. It goes up for
You're
taxes.
on the title
I'm screwed.
as a
Glued and
lien holder.
tattooed. If the land has been assessed with, the home's been assessed with the land.
That is correct.
Wow.
And there's case law that supports it. And it was with. one of the
You've
big ones.
actually done that.
I've not done it. No, I'm
Okay,
saying there's case law.
I thought you had experience with that.
No, I've had experience with having to do stuff with mobile homes where you sue some lender who had no idea that they had a lien. But the case law was with 21st Mortgage,
Okay.
okay, and another one was with Green Tree.
Okay.
Okay, so those were big lenders, and they did lots of mortgages.
Probably the biggest when it comes to
Around
mobile
here.
homes. Yeah.
But they had mobile home liens because they didn't always get a mortgage.
Right.
If you had a pretty good down payment, they wouldn't want it. They didn't
Right.
need it. So they had the lien only, and they lost because they did not have. What happened was the title transferred, and then the people got a tax, not title. The property was transferred by tax deed, and they did a quiet title suit, and the part of the quiet title suit was about the mobile home. and they lost.
So in that case, you're not getting a tax certification. We're going to
Not for the mobile home,
We're going to do a suit to quiet title in
but
that case.
you're not going to get a tax deed certification for the mobile home unless it's, because that's not what part of it. You don't know what. It's going to have to get.
Well, we would do a title lien. We do a title lien search at the time we're going to issue a policy anyhow.
Well, but okay, right. You and I are going to go to Auto Data Direct and see what's what.
Right.
Okay, that's just normal.
That's true.
Okay.
And when you do tax certification, you can see when that surfaces, you're going to then say, hey, we got to do a suit to quiet title in this case.
Right, because or you can check with the DMV and see if they're going to do it. Okay, but I don't think you're getting a title without the information being on the tax deed. And it bothers me because there's no way that I know of to compel the clerk to put that information there if you give it to him.
No, I disagree with you 100%. We've done it.
You've had a clerk read the deed. Okay.
No, not redo a deed. We've had the DMV transfer the title after showing them a tax deed.
And the mobile home information
was not on there.
Which county?
St. John's. I don't think I'm crazy.
Were you having an out-of-body experience?
I may have been. And remember,
was this a dream?
I'm speaking as if I personally did it myself, and obviously I had employees that did it. But I'm pretty sure.
I would be surprised if that's accurate. I'd like to see that because, again, the favorite thing for the DMV to say is we just need a court order.
Okay.
Like you can
I
pay your money and get a court order.
That's a personal visit I need to make to the DMV, I guess. But there's still a cure. It's a suit to quiet title. It's just.
And again, it might be something we can sue the DMV and they'll just default, okay, and be done. Right. And you get the court order.
Okay.
Or maybe you can sue NRE. If you can sue NRE the title, if I had a way to do that, you'd be suing nobody, and you just.
What do you mean? If you had a way, you have a way to do that?
Well, if there's a procedural way to do it that continues to work, okay, because. Some things don't matter until somebody questions it, and the DMV just needs an order. Well, whose due process rights are we messing with?
Right.
Okay, everybody that needed to got notice.
Okay.
Now, I think when you get rid of a lien, that's going to take a quiet title suit.
Okay.
Because how is the lender going to get? How are they going to? You're going to remove the lien from their title, and then they're going to say, "Well, hey, we need a duplicate title because we lost it." Or we have an electronic title with an electronic lien. There's no way to update all that. So they get due process.
Let's talk real quickly about tax certifications. I know you and Ben work hard on that. We briefly talked about it last week, but again, I want to hit it. I want to talk on that point again.
The process is really simple. Tax deeds are a brand new title. It's a brand new chain, except for certain things, like municipality liens. But we have the pesky little problem of the due process clause of the United States Constitution, the Florida Constitution. So even though people are deemed to know that they owe taxes and they must pay them if they own real property, they still need to get notice before we take that ownership away from them. So now the state structure, the statute is set up, and there's case law that says if the clerk follows the statute, due process is met because that process has been deemed to very likely give actual notice of the loss or the potential loss of the property, and they have the opportunity to redeem. So if the clerk does what they're supposed to do, it works. Now, it doesn't mean somebody won't challenge it, but they should lose. Okay, and they have a 4-year statute of limitations. So what we do is we have an underwriter, we have an E&O policy that ensures what we're doing. So if we screw it up, there's insurance
protection for the title underwriter.
Yeah. And we have an title underwriter that will allow, if I do a tax deed certification and they've seen my process, so they know that I'm following a process.
No shortcuts.
And I don't take shortcuts with it.
Mm-mm.
But the point is, I just have to verify certain things. And when those things are verified, then I can sign this certification basically saying due process has been met.
Indemnifying the underwriter.
And I indemnify the underwriter if there's a problem.
And then they're willing to give a title policy.
They'll give a title policy, and then we use that. You use that same underwriter when the person who has it sells it to somebody else.
Correct. And I think it's smart for a tax deed investor to get that title policy because it is expensive to be innocent. It's expensive to be right. Anybody challenges that tax deed, they're going to want that title policy to protect them for any legal fees. And also, if they sell or when they sell the property, and if the people who lost property taxes challenge that, the underwriter is going to go back on the seller. And so that's another way of protecting them. They have that title policy so that they're protected from anybody challenging the validity of the tax sale.
Even if they went through the process of getting a quiet title suit, they probably ought to get a title policy.
No, not probably.
Well, if they want to reduce
they
the
should
risk,
get a title policy.
It costs money, but it's risk reward. Okay.
Yes.
Do you want to indemnify your own risk? Maybe,
should,
but maybe not.
You have 30 years, which that can come back to haunt you.
No, it's 4 years on a tax deed.
Because you still have to defend.
Okay, it's not going to survive.
It doesn't matter. You still have to defend.
Okay.
Still cost to defend.
But even after 30
years,
you're
not free, are you? Hey,
even
it's outside the 4-year statutes, Rusty. Well, and you're right. Even after 30 years, you're still right.
Okay, because I have personally been the attorney and the person being sued. Okay, because as the trustee of a trust, I got 9 lawsuits in one day about restrictions that had expired because of the Marketable Record Title Act,
which is 30 years.
Right. We won at the hearing.
Well, then you had it appealed and still won.
I don't know whether they appealed it.
I thought they did.
I don't think so. But the point is, we won.
You mean they gave up that easy?
I guess so.
You won and they waved the white flag? I know the person who was involved in that. I'm surprised.
Well, so the point is, you can always get sued.
Right. That's why you always get a title policy. You touch the title for 30 seconds. It's in your name for 30 seconds. I don't care if it's in your name for 1 second. You get a title policy. Title underwriters will start suing everybody who's ever held title.
Well, yeah, they're going to want to get reimbursed.
Yeah, so you always want to get a title policy to protect you. Cost?
For a tax deed certification, it's around $1,950 total all in.
Now, but your cost?
My cost is $1,500.
$1,500. That's the certification cost. The rest of the fees are title and searches and stuff.
The title fee, title insurance is based upon the amount.
Right, so it can fluctuate. Yeah, right. So it doesn't matter. But the fee to get it done is $1,500. What's the suit to quiet title cost?
At least $3,000 and up from there.
Right, and you get attorney items involved and things.
Well, here's the thing: we just had a case where it was brought to me after the fact, where an attorney in Jacksonville did a quiet title suit on a St. Johns County property, and for some reason he missed a mortgage.
It happens.
Didn't take care of it with the quiet title. But here's the thing. The tax deed search was done right.
Right, and they got notice. They were noticed.
Not only did the lender get noticed, they signed the green card.
Yeah, they knew.
So yeah, they could have probably got, and I know what that attorney charges for stuff, and he's not shy. So for less than what they paid, they could have had a tax deed certification and been just fine.
Right. And we like tax certifications. We like tax certification. I like tax certification because, again, I don't like kicking the proverbial sleeping dog. When somebody loses their property taxes, I want them to forget. And they've already forgotten about the property. And when you serve them or file a lawsuit and you serve them in that lawsuit, well, they then get reminded.
And they may say, well, wait a minute, that property's worth a lot of money.
Yeah, and then they start fighting.
Right, but the only defense is I paid. Here's my receipt.
I get it, Rusty, but it's still expensive to fight it.
True.
A suit to quiet title is, in your case, is a flat fee.
Typically, yeah.
Typically. In other attorneys, if they get challenged, it's not a flat fee anymore.
I'm pretty sure a lot of the attorneys I know, it's not a flat fee. It's
so if it gets challenged, that fee is going to go up. So this is why I like the tax certification. It makes it a smooth process. You check it, make sure all the statutory requirements, sleeping dogs lie.
And
title
I
insurance,
have not
move
found
on.
one yet where I couldn't issue the certification.
Our accountants are good at what they do.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'll find one.
We'll find one. Something happens because they're still human beings.
Right.
So if you're going to invest in a tax deed auction, then you want to also get the tax deed certified.
Yes, you first want to get land title to look at the title prior to the auction. When you win the auction, get your tax deed in your name, then you want to come get the certification.
And then you're right, and it doesn't take that long to get done. So you can turn the property very quick if the market allows for you to do that.
Okay. Well, this has been Land Title Talk. I'm Steve Collins from Land Title of America. You can reach me at 904-797-9600, 904-797-9600. My cell phone is 904-501-4481, 904-501-4481. We'd love for you to text us questions for next week's show. However, we may meander back in the taxi just a little bit more. There's some more things to talk about. This is Rusty Collins from the Law Office of J. Russell Collins, affectionately known as Rusty Law. You can reach him at
904-829-6600.
904-829-6600. And we have Ben here. Ben is his right arm, left leg, right leg. And so if you need anything, you can also get a hold of Ben at 904-829-6600. Matter of fact, we encourage you just to call and ask for Ben. Don't even waste your time to ask for Rusty. And then we have Julie here with us. Thank you, Julie, for always being with us. We appreciate it. You always add so much, and we thank you for your input. But we'll be gone for a week. We'll be back next week, and then we're probably going to be taking a little bit of a break while I go to New Jersey and play music with Jim Aselta. So we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us.